Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about SEO in the cosmetic surgery space. It's an opportunity I came across recently through one of my my new clients actually, and delving into it, it just seems like an insane opportunity and something that I wanted to explore a little bit more. So I'm just going to dive right in. So, just to give a little background, a lot of businesses that I do SEO and link building for anyway, they'll be like typically online businesses. So we're talking about, for example, you can see here niches like online games, which need mammoth traffic in order to become highly profitable. So like these are websites that need hundreds of thousands of visitors to exist. They rely on like ad traffic, ad revenue. Like one customer, one visitor might be worth one p, 2p, 1 cent, 2 cents, and you need literally millions of visitors to make a dent. So, just for example, one of my clients, crazygames.com, we can see here. They probably don't do quite this much organic traffic in reality, but they do about 4 to 5 million visitors per month, and that is worth a lot of money. But to get to that level is insanely hard. You need so many different streams of traffic coming through Google. You need to rank for so many keywords, and like this is the same for all sorts of industries. Online nutrition sellers, guys who sell protein, for example, casino sites, flight comparison sites, all these kind of new age websites that aren't traditional brick and mortar businesses. Anyway, I came across plastic surgery and cosmetic surgery through a new client of mine who I'll talk about shortly. So like just a few obvious observations. It's highly desirable by the mass public, highly priced, and people searching for this have a great intent. So people searching for like rhinoplasty in Scotland, for example, where I am, they obviously have they're going to have a great intent for finding someone who can provide them with the rhinoplasty surgery. So it's a perfect opportunity to dominate search engine results. And honestly, from what I've seen, it's an area that is rife with opportunity. Like people aren't investing huge amounts compared to, I don't know, typical brick and mortar high ticket items like mortgages, for example. Like the mortgage industry, the loan industry is pretty. There's so much competition out there, and it's kind of hard to make a dent. But you look at the pricing for your typical like rhinoplasty surgery, for example. You're talking like 2, 3, 4 grand for any kind of surgery. Of course, there are like smaller ticket items. They're not items. They're it's a service, like mole removal, for example. But and another thing I'm assuming is when a customer finds a plastic surgery provider that they think is reliable, safe, trustworthy, they're probably going to go back. So if they are spending 3, 4, 5 grand on a procedure, the odds are they're going to go back to the same person again and again. So I know SEOs, guys who work specifically, like they run businesses to specifically work with certain niches. So I know guys who work with dentists, lawyers, mortgage providers, even like I know a guy who's worked specifically with like cab companies and limo companies. And you're relying on huge traffic, massive streams. But for this, like you have 1 or 2 customers coming to your website, you're making like 10 grand. Sorry, not coming to your website, but coming to your website and actually coming in for a consultation, potentially making like thousands of pounds just from one customer. So just to go on to how this idea came about, like, so one of my current clients, who's like a really new client, he owns sites based in Australia. So sydneyplasticsurgery.com, Dr. Turner, this website here, you can see, he does all sorts, all the kind of standard procedures: breast augmentation, rhinoplasty, liposuction, stuff for men, skin work. And what he said to me was so he's based not only in Sydney, but he also has practices in like Newcastle, and he has his Dr. Turner website. And what he said was really interesting is not that many guys are investing too heavily in SEO. So a lot of his competitors aren't investing that much. He wants to invest now so that he can dominate the market and dominate the online leads through Google for the next like 10 plus years to come, which seems a very sensible strategy. So you can see, like, this is his Dr. Turner website. So my method of SEO focuses on link building. He only has about 82 referring domains, but he's actually already ranking for like a really good number of high value terms like Brazilian butt lift, plastic surgery in Sydney. Not as high as we'd like, but you can see the trend is going upwards, so we're getting there. He already has like good on-page SEO, as do a lot of plastic surgery sites actually. They've got good structure. Their sites are optimized. Like whoever came in and built the site, they've probably had SEO work done before on it. But the SEOs probably haven't really focused on building any links to the website or any good links to the website. And especially not links to individual procedure pages, which I'll come to shortly, which seems to be the major leak for a lot of these companies. So they'll have links inbound to the homepage, but not to individual procedure pages, which could drastically affect their rankings too. So I just wanted to look at like a couple of success examples in the UK. So because I'm based in Edinburgh, Scotland, I thought I'd look locally. So here's one. Quaba, is that how you? I think that's probably the name of the head surgeon. Yeah. So these guys are based in Edinburgh. This one was really interesting because they only have like 67 referring domains to the site. They're ranking for all sorts: rhinoplasty Glasgow, liposuction Scotland, nose job before and after. All these so anyone looking or searching in Scotland or Edinburgh for these searches are finding Quaba. And like their link profile is, it's a good website. It's got just the basic kind of setup that you'd expect. It has the procedure category pages. It has like some pretty good content. It's answering good questions. So this has obviously had some SEO work done to it, in my opinion. But where I think they're lacking again is they're doing very well, don't get me wrong, but I think they're lacking again in links to the site. A huge number of links are just going to the homepage. Even if there are some directory links, most of the links are directory links. There's probably one that's not. So they've not really got like contextual links on, which are much more powerful links. A lot of them are just like, you can see here, consultant profile links. So despite this being a really good website with really good content, it could rank for so many more terms and rank higher for existing terms if there was just links that were built from high authority websites into their procedure pages. Again, this is another one I found. These guys operate in London as well, but also Scotland, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Aberdeen. Again, looks like a very well polished brand. They have all sorts. They're doing all sorts there. Is this the link profile? Yeah, this is link profile of Atlantic. Again, the only place they build links back to their website really is from directories. They've got one or two links that are like actual contextual links. I'll show you what I mean by that. Where was it? So here's like an article on a site called Organic Health Advisor. Why it's vital that you pick the right cosmetic surgeon. So they've had SEO work done undoubtedly on the website. This web page that they've built this link on, or the SEO company's built this link on, doesn't look particularly good. The site won't even load. It's kind of riddled with ads, I think. But again, most of their links are just going to the homepage, directed to the homepage, which means the website has built up a lot of authority, but individual pages aren't ranking as well as they could, because as soon as you start sending a few links to these individual pages, the rankings are going to shoot up because nobody is really doing that. Most of the links are inbound to the homepage. It might be that they don't need so many to rank just because it's the lack of competition, but it's definitely going to help. And I thought that was kind of mind blowing. There's another one, Edinburgh Clinic, which I won't go into just now, but these guys are all ranking for rhinoplasty, tummy top, like liposuction, all these major terms in the local vicinity, all these high value terms, probably getting a ton of visitors. Although all of those guys are doing well, they could be doing much better. So the best link types to build for these kind of sites, well, directories as a baseline to the homepage. I mean, they're probably getting referral traffic through other directories too. But none of these guys are building contextual links. So guest posts, for example, let's say a journalist on a website wrote about things to consider if you really want to get a plastic surgery procedure. In that article, we would have a natural link back to our website or back to a particular procedure page on the website. And that would help boost authority of that page and the ranking of that procedure page. Content marketing. So nobody's really doing this. Despite Quaba having really good content as far as, answering all sorts of questions on the website. I don't think there's anyone that's really doing content marketing. So, creating some amazing piece of content like the 101 guide to your first plastic surgery experience. And like building tons of links to the site that way, building the authority of the site, and also getting traffic to the site. And you can spread the link juice throughout all the pages so that your whole site benefits. But, I kind of just came to the conclusion that if I knew how to perform technical medical surgery, I'd have an endless stream of customers. And it's because it just seems like it's such a, the competition is obviously high in the sense that there's probably a lot of surgeons kicking around, but it doesn't seem like anyone has rolled ahead. Like you've got like Spire Healthcare, who are a national brand with, they've got thousands of linking domains. Apart from that, and maybe guys like Bupa, the search results are actually dominated by local companies, local businesses, and that just goes to show that it should be easy to get in and rank ahead of all these guys locally. There's a gap in the market. You can dominate a particular local area, and the same applies for the US. I just checked completely randomly for a couple of searches like plastic surgery Chicago, found a site like this, David Schifrin, MD. Again, the website's pretty similar to all of these websites. They've got it all categorized nicely. Probably quite a fast site, a good efficient website. They just need to build a few more links. But this he's only got 50 links coming to the site. He's ranking top for so many terms in Chicago anyway. Tummy tuck in Chicago, plastic surgeon Chicago, all of these terms. So he's doing really well. He's got a huge amount of traffic for the vicinity. So this is the kind of thing that can easily be replicated, I think, in other states, other cities, other locales. If you want to build out a website like, where are they? Atlantic have done, so they're ranking in London and Glasgow, Aberdeen, Scotland basically mainly, but also London. So I just thought it was impressive, and it's for sure an opportunity for someone just to come along in an area and just try and dominate that area. I just kind of got the idea from one of my clients who he wants to lock down his particular area in Australia. That's why he asked me to come on board. But I just thought as well, I'd love to I'd love to be a surgeon. Never going to happen, but it's just a big opportunity for anyone in this particular industry. But that was about it. Just an interesting little insight there into the cosmetic surgery industry, plastic surgery industry, and just the kind of potential and opportunity that still remains through Google Leads. But any questions or thoughts or ideas, just drop a comment below.